everybody, how are you today? Today is November 7th. I had my dietitian's appointment yesterday, November 6th. It was at 8:30 in the morning. I was there like 45 minutes early. So basically she came out and she got my husband and I, and we went back with her, and then she started asking questions, to see what my knowledge was, what I would expect before and after surgery, both with Optifast and then after surgery with the liquid stage, the pureed stage, the soft food stage, and then onto the regular food stage. Sorry, before I go on anymore, sorry for the shakiness. We're in the transport right now. My husband's driving, so I did have a video recorded yesterday when I was sitting in a parking lot somewhere, and it just won't upload. I don't know why, but yeah, so she was happy about that. I think she was impressed that I knew as much as I did, and that I was able to fill in a lot of the blanks that she left. She was happy with the knowledge that I had. She did actually kind of make reference that a lot of people go in there with different expectations and no knowledge or next to no knowledge, and she did go over, just like everybody else, one of the expectations they think that I have, and with my pie in the sky goal of 135, I have that goal because for my height and my age, I'm 5'7" and I'm 38. Based on the BMI, 135 to 138 would be right smack dab in the middle. Which is why I decided on that number. And I mean, that's my ultimate goal if I can ever reach it. If I do, I'm freaking laughing. If I don't, whatever. I'll be healthy. I'll be, I'll have less weight on me, hopefully, so long as I'm not one of the rare people that the surgery doesn't work for. I'll be able to regulate my eating more, how much for, however long my stomach decides, or my pouch will decide that I can eat smaller portions, and so on and so forth. She said basically to expect that my lowest weight that I will ever achieve is 190 pounds, because that she asked what my lowest adult weight was, and so I have two children. I have a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old. So the last time I really actually knew my weight, before I got pregnant, was when I was 16, and I was 160 pounds. In around there, maybe 150 to 160, and but because I was 16, they don't consider that an adult weight, because an adult weight would be 18 plus, which is fine. I'm pretty sure I got down to about 190 at one point, but it's never been registered. I mean, in the last few years, like the year before I started driving transport with my husband, I was, 220 or 230 at Dr. Rudnick's office? Something like that. So, I mean, I know I've gotten into the 100s because, I mean, with my first son, I gained like 60 or 70 pounds. I got up to like 240, I think, by the time I was 230 or 240 by the time I gave birth to him. And then with my second son, I had actually, I never got weighed that I can remember the number of, Obviously, you get weighed when you have a pregnancy and you go into the doctor, but I just can't remember the number. But I know that I pretty well lost the weight from my first son, because I was in a size 32 jean before I got pregnant with my first son, and I got back down to a size 34 jean by the time I got pregnant with my second son. Now with my second son, I actually hit 260 to 270. With him, I gained like 90 pounds. And then just since, I haven't really been able to lose the weight. I mean, there was one point that I did, but I was working in a factory doing highly physical labor. And I think I lost about 40, maybe 50 pounds, but I think I got down to a 38 jean. And then I stopped working there and I just started gaining weight back again. So, we went over all of that, and from that, she basically determined that the most that I could expect to reach weight loss wise is 190 pounds, which, I mean, if that's what I reach, then that's what I reach. Will I be happy with that? I want to say yes, because it's weight loss, but I want to say no, because it's still, I think at that point I'd still probably be in the obese 1 category. So I'd like to see more, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really tell if you're going to be happy somewhere until you get there. Happy overall because I've lost weight, which I've been trying to do for years and just failed miserably at. She went over the different diets and stuff that I've done, and I took a weight loss pill at one point, and I lost 30 pounds in the first month, and my doctor took me off of it right away because he was worried that I would become addicted to them, because they were a highly addictive substance. And when I went on them too, he actually told me that he would only have me on them for 3 months maximum, because they were so highly addictive. He actually got scared after the first month that I had lost 30 pounds, because he basically said that I was supposed to lose maybe 10 to 15. So, whichever. Then I've tried something called the Dietician diet, and she asked me about that and asked me how I like it, and I said I actually do like it, and it actually does work. There's 4 stages to it. The first stage is a pure protein stage, so you're eating just, and he says he wants you eating meat because meat is a complex protein, not plant-based protein, which is a simple protein. He says that your body burns more calories when it's having to break down complex chains rather than simple chains, which I know works, because the very first time I did it like 3 or 4 times, because I know it works. I kept trying it. The first time I lost 40 pounds in a week. Or no, was it a week or 2? No, it was 3 weeks. Sorry, 3 weeks. Sorry. 40 pounds in a week is kind of a bit extreme. Yeah, no, it was 40 pounds in 3 weeks, and it was amazing. The only problem was with the Dietician diet. My husband was doing it too, and with his health problems, he can't do just pure proteins. He has to have other stuff mixed into it. So he'd go to the second stage, which is you add low carb vegetables in with your proteins, but it's still mostly protein, and then you alternate between days where you have vegetables and proteins, and then days where you just have pure proteins. So the problem would be switching to that stage. We'd go home for the weekend, and we'd end up cheating all weekend long, having barbecued foods and, you know, like baked potatoes and steak and barbecue chicken and I liked Smokies, the cheddar Smokies. You know, we'd cook those up, or burgers or whatever, and so we'd get all the breads and all the stuff, and, you know, being summertime, we'd get all the ice cream. Yeah, so, I mean, we were denying ourselves stuff, so it never ended up working out, and we considered it a diet, not a lifestyle. So even though that program is a lifestyle, as long as you can get your head into it and succeed at it, it actually reteaches you how to eat over the long run. By the time you hit the fourth stage, you've reincorporated everything back in, and then it's just maintenance from then on out. So we went over that, and I did another program called Isogenics, which is it's a body cleanse program, but they don't, I don't know about now, but then they didn't claim to be a weight loss regime. It was a body cleanse, and one of the good side effects of it was that it helped you lose weight. That, and like, they had cases of people with fibromyalgia that freaking, you know, were in wheelchairs or couldn't walk very well because their fibro was so bad, and they were able to, you know, after a few months or whatever of doing the cleanse, because they were part of Isogenics is you're putting back all the minerals and nutrients that you leach out of your body on a daily basis, and you're cleansing your body of all the chemicals and crap that you've been eating over the years or ingesting, you know, breathing in, drinking in, however you're doing it. It's quite expensive. I mean, for a month, I think I was paying about $400 just for, you know, like, I did the whole entire program. So I did the cleanse I think it was 7 days or 14 days there was a cleanse. And then I did the 2 meal replacement shakes per day. I did, you know, and I had everything. And then you had 1 meal a day that was that consisted of organic foods. So, I mean, and that did work. I don't know how much weight I lost on it. I just know, like, I had this leather jacket and I couldn't close it all the way, and I loved it. So I used to wear it all the time, even though I couldn't close it, because it looked good on me. Even though I couldn't close it, by the time I couldn't do the program anymore, I was able to close and button the coat. So I know I lost something. I just don't know exactly how much. So, I mean, like, I've tried a bunch of different things and just whatever, and, you know, like we all do. That yo-yo dieting crap. And yeah, so she went over that, and then she went over my food and what I do eat, and at that point basically told me that I wasn't ready for surgery. And I was like, how do you figure? And she's like, well, she said, I like the way that you're eating, and I like the fact that you've already lost some weight with the way that you are eating, but I don't want to eat potatoes and starchy stuff. I mean, like, I have beans in my chili. That's pretty much the only starch that I'm getting. Other than that, like, when I eat my salads, you know, there's like a boiled egg in it, and some chicken, and cucumber, and lettuce, and tomato, and cheese, but no grains or starches, which she was not happy with. And basically my diet, oh, that's right, I've lost 20 pounds in the last month. So she weighed me yesterday at 325. On Saturday, I actually weighed myself at 323.2. And Sunday, I was 324, but I kind of had a few glasses of wine and whatnot on Saturday night. And then yesterday morning when she weighed me, I was 325, but I think I was that, she said, because I was wearing my shoes and my clothing, so she said it would probably be a couple pounds less without those things. But I had also had a half coffee and a bagel at that point. So, which we all know, when you want to weigh yourself, you want to be completely empty of everything. So, and if you can do it, you're at home completely naked. Whichever. So, yeah. So, basically, I eat a couple of green apples and a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter for breakfast. Not every single day, but most days. And then I'll have one snack every day, and it's a couple of yogurts with this stuff called North Coast Naturals Ultimate Daily Cleanse. I absolutely love it. It's an organic fiber supplement. We've switched a lot of our foods to organic because it's less sodium, generally less sugars, and it tastes better. And then depending on the day, I'll have a couple of salads. Or if it's a day where we've made chili, I'll have a cup of chili and a salad with the apples and the yogurt. We like spaghetti too, but instead of using pasta, I like zoodles, but we haven't done those in a while. But my husband likes to get the flat white cabbage, and then he slices it up really thinly, and then we use that as noodles instead, and it's actually really good. So if we're having spaghetti or chili, then I'll do one salad for whatever the next meal is, whether it's lunch or dinner, and then whatever the chili or the spaghetti for the other meal. Once in a while we'll do a stir fry. My husband likes to do soups all the time. He'll do, like a scallop soup. Those fishy scallop things. I don't really like them right now. Oh, that was another thing too. She basically told me that I have to add a grain or a starch in on my salad. So I asked her if I could get Melba toast and crunch it up on my salad like croutons, and she said yes. So I found these crackers called Wassa crackers, and they have no sugar in them. And I looked through all the Melba toast and everything like that, and if there was sugar in the list, no, not doing it. Wassa was the only one that didn't have sugar in the list. My husband's been diagnosed pre-diabetic, so we've had to work on taking the sugars out of everything. So because he's doing it, I've decided to do it too, as much as possible. We sweeten our coffee with monk fruit sweetener now, and whatnot. So we've gone as extreme as we can with getting the sugar out. And she basically told me that she wants me to incorporate fish into my diet before surgery. At that point, I told her that I'm the type of person I need like a ton of tartar sauce or a ton of ketchup with my fish to cover the taste, because otherwise the taste itself makes me sick. And she's like, well, I want you to start incorporating some white fish into your diet because they're not as strong tasting. See if you can tolerate it before surgery. And it's not the problem of being able to tolerate it, it's the problem that the taste itself makes me sick. It sits fine in my belly, it's just the taste. I mean, that's one of the things that I hope that I can eat after surgery. I'd definitely love to be able to incorporate fish into my diet because, your omega-6 and omega-3s and everything, they're just way healthy for you. went over that. Basically, I told her that I would incorporate the more grains and starches in my diets because she was concerned that I was getting too low carbohydrates. But the thing is, when I track my food, and this is kind of what makes it so I don't track my food consistently, because I really don't. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I input my stuff into Veritastic, and it says that I'm getting a ton of sugar, a ton of carbohydrates, or Samsung Health. I use Samsung Health instead of Fitbit. I had a Fitbit. I didn't like it. I like Samsung Health better. It says I'm having a ton of carbohydrates. We don't eat a lot of processed food anymore. It's as natural as we can get it. So I don't know. I think I'm going to start tracking everything, but tracking it individually into the foods that I make. Breaking down every single little bit of it, maybe, except for like with the chili and the spaghetti, because that's a whole bunch of stuff mixed in together. But like with my salad, if I have a quarter cup of cucumber on my salad, and 1 boiled egg, and half a chicken breast and a quarter cup of cheese, stuff like that. See if the calorie count and the carb count is different. So yeah, and in Toronto Western Hospital, when they give you your package before at orientation, there is a 3-day food journal in there that they want you to complete before you come in for your first appointment. So I did do that, and she had it, and we went over it. Those foods I no longer eat on a regular basis. Like it had baked potatoes and steak and this and that, like ice cream and just a whole bunch of crap that I don't eat anymore. And so she wants another 3-day food journal. So basically she's holding my file until Friday. So I have to journal today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and email her on Friday morning with my food journal for the next 3 days before she will release my file and allow it to go forward for me to be assessed for surgery. So, which is fine, but she said on the pre-assignment for her that you get, that it says a 3-day food journal. Now, there is no specification as to when they want that 3-day food journal from, so I thought I was fine because I had completed the first one. But she said, that's what you used to eat. You're telling me that you eat different now. And she said, basically, she said they're including 2 in the package now, and they should have told us in the orientation or at the nutrition class, whatever, that we should have completed a secondary 3-day food journal, which I'm kind of not happy about, but whatever. I'll get it done and send it in, and then she can release my file. So on top of that too, at the end of everything, she was happy. She wants the journal. As soon as she gets the journal, she's more than willing to release my file so that I can move forward to seeing the surgeon and whatnot. Again, sorry for the shakiness, going over some bumps in the road and whatnot. She pretty much told me that they are severely backlogged, that the earliest I can expect to be able to get surgery is March. And I was like, wow. So yeah, because that's what we've got, all of November, December, January, February. That's 4 to 5 months from now. So basically at that point, my husband and I don't have a house or an apartment of our own. We decided to give up the apartment we did have because we wanted to, take these years and pay off the debt that we owe, and then start saving money and buy ourselves some land and either build a house or have a house pre-existing on it, whichever we find and decide we like. And so that's what we've done. So if I were to get surgery over the winter, we'd either have to look at going to there's a few companies that rent out pre-furnished apartments for however much a month. We have the 2 dogs, so we obviously have to get something that's pet friendly, or an Airbnb that would be pet friendly. And yeah, so if it's March, then it's only another 2 months. I'm gonna ask them, or maybe 3. I'm gonna ask them to put it off until May, because the May long weekend, we open our trailer, so it would be better for me to just stay at the trailer, and then the only thing would be getting back and forth to appointments at that point. We'd have to work something out with a friend to come stay with me while my husband continues to work or something. So yeah, do you think Shelley would do that? She probably would, wouldn't she? So yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at, and who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm gonna see about maybe getting, if they have one, maybe getting on a cancellation list. She said that they were sending some people to other hospitals, like the hospital in Guelph, to try and move things along faster and get surgeries done quicker, take some of the overflow and whatnot. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Who knows? I mean, I could go in and see the surgeon, and they could tell me that they're going to send me to Guelph and I'm having surgery in January. And if that's the case, then I'm going to do it, because it's in the middle of winter. Might as well at that point. Or they may not. They may not tell me that I can't have surgery until June next year. Who knows? We don't know. So, anyways, that's pretty much all of it. Sorry for such a long video. I will post again while I'm waiting to go see the surgeon and find out about a surgery date and so on and so forth. I've been thinking about doing like the tag videos, like 10 things about me, or 10 things I won't miss about being overweight, or stuff like that. So I'll probably do some of those and add some more content. And in the meantime, you all have a great day, be safe, and take care. Bye.